Hi, this is Victoria Pinne.
And Marat Saakyan of Pillz, the phygital fashion and tech startup that merges Web3 with the real world.
We are here on the Edge of NFT, the fashionable tech podcast that delivers you the most interesting projects in the Web3 space. Keep listening.
Hey, NFT curious listeners, stay tuned for today's episode to learn how Pillz is creating phygital Web3 wearables that stretch the imagination about what's possible for the future of fashion, and how 40 people passionately working 16 hours a day for months makes for one of the coolest new hardware devices to be released. And find out which questions today's guests choose to answer in a super rapid round of quick hitters. All this and more on today's episode. Enjoy. And before we move on, don't forget that our Outer Edge LA event recently returned to Los Angeles, March 20th to the 23rd, 2023. You can now catch up on all of the discussions, presentations, and more by heading over to watch.outeredge.live and registering with just your email address. Then you'll have access to over 60 captivating conversations and performances. Binge watchers are welcome. Netflix look out, and we'll see you inside. Welcome to the Edge of NFT, the podcast created by Jeff Kelly, Ethan Janney, and Josh Krieger, the podcast that brings you the top 1% of Web3 today and what will stand the test of time. We explore the nuts and bolts of the business side and also the human element of how Web3 is changing the way we interact with the things we love. This podcast is for the dreamers, disruptors, and doers who are pumped about this ecosystem and driving where it goes next. In today's sponsored Spotlight episode, we are excited to host Victoria Pinne and Marat Saakyan from Pillz, a unique platform extending your digital identity. And also joining us in spirit, off camera, off audio, is Mike Nosov. We'll explain that later. But let's introduce the crew. Victoria is the co-founder and CMO of Pillz Incorporated, with over a decade in the fashion industry. She brings her expertise from her tenure as the area head of marketing and innovations at Puma. Marat Saakyan serves as the CEO of Pillz, a forward-thinking hardware company innovating the realm of Web3 devices. Marat's extensive background includes experience at Ernst & Young and nearly 10 years in hardware development. And Mike Nosov is joining us in spirit. His next role will be improving the bandwidth of his ISP he's using for this podcast. It's a bit spotty, so we decided to pull an audible. If he can, he'll make a comment here too, and we might spit it out for you guys. But he's here behind the scenes. Pillz offers an innovative solution that allows individuals to showcase their NFTs as a phygital physical plus digital accessory, be it a necklace, bracelet, keychain, or any other item. Pillz enhances your interaction with your cherished NFT collectibles. All right, welcome to the show, everyone. Let's jump in.
Yeah, guys, this is really exciting to have you on the show. I'm glad we could work this out.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Glad to meet you.
Yeah. Where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from Yerevan, which is Armenia, if you know that country.
I'm in Dubai now.
All right,
Okay,
we've got some
fun.
world travelers here. I got to get over to Dubai sooner than later. It seems to be where all the action's happening in Web3 these days. But for now, let's talk about Pillz. You know, it's a really interesting extension of digital identity. It's offering this tangible, immersive experience with NFT collectibles and games, and you know, adding to the utility side of the house, which is something we care about deeply on the show and talk about a lot. Marat, maybe you can just kind of walk us through the genesis of the project and any kind of special features of what you guys have been building.
Sure. Pillz is a device. It's a physical item. It started like a jewelry project with some electronics in it. We were focused on showing and displaying your NFTs since it was very expensive digital assets that people couldn't show off. But after that, we understood that Pillz is more than just display for your NFTs, and we started deeper work and now it's small computer like smartphone in a tiny shell, and it has integrated graphics, computing, and it's gaming platform like console with games in it, like Tamagotchi-like games. Yeah, so it's device for NFT gaming, NFT displaying, but what we aim to become is company that creating devices for your digital identity.
Very cool stuff. And we
Yeah,
talked.
I'm on the website, Ethan, and obviously I think at some point in the show we may have an unboxing, but I do encourage listeners to go over to pillz.tech and kind of see for themselves what we're talking about here, because this is basically it's a cultural piece of physical identity to match your digital identity, and it's done in a very fashion forward way and quite special.
And that's PILLZ.tech. So you spell it correctly. Yeah, really interesting. I always had fun. I mentioned this on the show a few times. When I lived in New York City, I would go over to the New York University, and they had a special master's program where people could work on, like, just innovative kind of usages of tech and hardware and software integrations and all this stuff. It was called the Interactive Telecommunications Program. And this kind of reminds me of that, innovative stuff.
Cool.
I'm wondering if you could walk us through the genesis, how did this get started here, and other notable like features of what it's capable of?
My main experience is in science and microelectronics. Our team is X-Prize alumni, and we worked mainly for space and aviation development. So we worked with unique materials, unique technologies. That's why we can make some unusual solutions from technical side. But we were just engineering team before we met Tori.
Yeah, and here I come, right? So basically, I've been into fashion for more than 10 years already. So yeah, I've been heading marketing in Puma, also innovations for a couple of last years. So I did some projects within digital fashion, etc. And actually, it's a funny story, because once I've just heard that my husband, who is engineer, he was actually talking to Marat, and they had a startup studio. So I pitched one of my ideas, which was Phygital Wearables, and for some reason they liked this idea. So yeah, this is how it all happened. And within all ideas which were pitched, actually current idea one, I would say, survived, and yeah, and here we are.
Yeah, it was 800 hypotheses, and only one of them survived.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah,
long way.
Well, survival of the fittest, right? And we definitely appreciate sort of the need to sort of bring your passion for digital collectibles into real life. And we've had Crypto Jeweler on the show, and we did a really cool digital experience with DressX, and I think this is one of the pioneering areas to build in terms of the long-term future of Web3. And I guess like one question I have for you, Marat, is where does hardware sort of fit into Web3 infrastructure in your opinion?
I maybe have a very specific view, but I think that hardware is always basement for software. Like 20, 30 years ago, it was internet. It was not so popular, but once personal computers developed and went to the market, regular people went to the internet and got access to the information to communication from one country to another, from one continent to another in seconds. And it's very hard, and it's about creating infrastructure, but it's the only way to make something big. And I think that hardware and devices, personal devices, is the only way to expand industry and to make Web3 more popular and to make mass adoption. And I think if it will be some tangible, funny, cute device that any person will understand, Web3 will become massive.
So let's talk about the hardware for a moment. Maybe put on your CTO hat, if you could borrow it from Mike. But you built something here that looks like it's a pretty sturdy piece of hardware that people can wear. Like, what's the battery life? How does it get programmed? How does all that work?
I want to say that it's the most hardest thing I created in my life. It's years of development. We wasn't public, but we developed it by our internal resources. For now, it's new version that will go public at 15th. It will survive from 4 to 5 days because we use 4 nanometer technology process for chipset. And it's also in a pack with charging station. It's like AirPod case, and case for Pillz will make about 1 month of charging. So you will have to charge your case once a month. It has different protocols. It has NFC, it has Bluetooth, BLE, Wi-Fi. It's hermetic, it's IP67. It has very good display, 326 points per inch. It has temperature sensor, it has gyroscope, accelerometer, it has GPS, it has everything that usual smartphone or top smartwatches has. But we excluded some features because we wanted to make specific device. It's specific for Web3. You can't upload there nothing if you don't own it. If you own NFT, you can upload it on device. You can't upload an image, and you can scam the community. If you have CryptoPunk, if you have Doodles, Bored Ape Yacht Club, you can upload it. It's the only way of show something via your Pillz.
Yeah, very impressive. And Ethan, I'm still on the Pillz website. Like, sure. You can basically, just to give our listeners a visual, this could be a pendant, this could be a wristband. It also has a carabiner setting. So basically you can kind of rock it as an accessory with whatever your look is for the given day.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's kind of fashion device, and that's also one of our main concept, to merge fashion with high technology.
Yeah, it reminds me of, I've got my Garmin watch, right? And I was thinking, this one does not necessarily track heart rate variability, for example, right? And I was trying to, I'll get a new one that does, and then which models do, and then there's another device that's just for that, and but you have to hook it up to your earlobe or something, right? And so it really illustrates exactly what you're talking about. Wearables have been a hot topic for decades, and it's slowly but surely becoming more and more just like inherent in everything that we do. But you made an interesting point. We have all these tools at our disposal, but it doesn't always make sense to put them in this package to do this and that and this and that. It's really makes sense to specialize and give people exactly what they want and the device they want. And you've hit upon something very interesting that people are going to want to do. And my brain is already running away with all the fun things you could do with like GPS technology and piggybacking on, kind of what's going on with, Pokemon Go and, and things like that. It's really fascinating. Victoria, could you elaborate here on how Pillz functions kind of as a digital identity device?
Yeah, so what we say is that we kind of help with Pillz wearables to bring people's online identities into real life. Basically, it's not just about showcasing to which community do you belong, but this is super important, of course. So, for example, you can show off that you belong to fashion community or to art community or to some NFT community, right? But it's also about gaming, because we will have pretty cool idea behind our game. So we will bring phygital pets who will be absolutely unique for each holder. And this phygital pet, so it will actually kind of integrate everything what you wanna what you want to bring it to it. For example, if you are into art and you visit, I don't know, like art galleries, museums, etc. So our device will actually track that. So as soon as you enter some specific place, we will have partnerships with particular places within key cities, and you will be able to connect to NFC tags, and your phygital pet will actually kind of, get more so it will get some proper trait within NFT. So it's dynamic NFT. For example, if you are more into sports, it will be more strong, right? So it's really cool. So it's not just about showcasing your NFTs, but it's also about gamification.
Yeah, that's exciting. And I also understand that you guys are integrating reality with Web3 gaming, which is sort of one of the big aspects of Web3 that is unlocked through the power of blockchain. Could you expound a little bit on this, Marat?
Yeah, sure. But if I can, I'd like to add some points about digital identity. So concept of digital identity includes that you have your Pillz and it identify you in physical world. And if you go to some party, you can join this party via identifying yourself with Pillz. So if you click Pillz at the entry of the club, it will unlock if you have NFT of this NFT party, and it will not unlock and will be closed if you don't have asset of this collection that makes this party. About gaming, yeah, we focused on games now, and we created our own game. It's story of creating your phygital pet from cell to the complete pet, and then transferring it from mobile to the Pillz device, and play with social mechanics. We inspired with Tamagotchi, Pokemon Go, with Cyberco and Nintendo DS. It's very old technology, and it's about finding new people and communicating with them. When two people with these pets meet, they can breed their pets and get new phygital pets. They will have children, and they will also be minted as NFTs. And all interactions are inside of a blockchain, and it's all exists in Web3 and in physical reality in the same moment. That's the concept.
Wow.
So there'll be a lot more people running around with illegitimate children once these get exciting.
Yeah. I mean, this is pretty major information that you just shared with us, right? And I appreciate you sort of putting an explanation point on the previous question, because I mean, you know, CryptoKitties was great, but if you imagine your technology was around when CryptoKitties came out, like how much more viral would have CryptoKitties have been in that moment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. And any other cool things to mention about the gaming features, or do we pretty much cover it?
Yeah, we are making a software development kit for other game dev studios make games on our platform, and also we are making standard game mechanics for NFT collections to gamify their collections. If you upload your doodles or different NFT asset on Pillz, it becomes more it get more functions, but also we started development with different hardware company that also makes something like Tamagotchi, and we're creating incredible game. We will announce it in a couple of weeks.
Wow, that's exciting stuff, guys. And the first Pillz collection is scheduled for June. Are there any exciting aspects of the first collection that our listeners can look forward to that you haven't covered already?
Yeah, actually, I would say that that collection will be super special because it's limited. So we will have another batch of collection later, but this one will be limited to 5,000 NFTs claimable for devices. Also, besides devices, we will actually, after like a person claims device, they will get a playable character. And yeah, and actually besides that, you will get a whole like full package. So you will get generally fittings. Again, that's something exclusive for this collection, because we are not sure that we will add everything within the next boxes, within the next drops. So currently users will be getting all 3 fittings. I think that's really cool. So you can actually mix and match your device within different fittings. Yeah, and maybe you also, you have also super cool unboxing experience. Maybe we can show it.
Oh,
yeah. Come on, guys. Like, let's do
demo.
it. Like, I mean, that's what the show is all about, is special moments like this. But I will say, we do expect you to ship these to us too, because we want to experience
Deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, I also wanted to add that it will have 20% discount, and it will be $199 USD. It's early bird, 5,000 devices batch, and you will get device, 3 fittings, carabiner, pendant, and bracelet, and also you will get your cell. It's basement of your character in our cells universe in our game. So it's usual experimental demo kit. We delivering it now, but it's a bit different. That will be in early bird. It's just opening like.
Yeah. So for our listeners at home, we got a cardboard cool hipster box, and It has kind of a ripcord type of opening experience, which is very feng shui.
Oh, yes. And then
the
a
Pillz.
box, a little sort of like a pill shaped box, which I guess makes sense there. It's kind of like the, geriatric pills, maybe, but
yeah, it's like if you had a really bad headache and you needed extra large
prescription
Advil.
strength
Take
headache
your
medicines.
pills.
All right. And then there's sort of like a cylindrical thing that pops out in little micro cylinders that pop out of that. Whoa, now it's getting kind of interesting. He's peeling like this is like a brand new, he had to peel like a protective layer of plastic off, and gosh, wow. It looks like it's not only something that you just open up, you get to kind of find different pieces and assemble them in a fun kind of way. It looks like he's lacing up like a chain or something.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, okay, cool. So there's a chain version, right? With a pendant, which you could wear around your neck, I'm supposing. And
one of the great things is engineering. So you put it with 90 grade angle and it's on magnets. So you can.
Oh, cool. And it rotates within the frame.
Yeah.
Very cool. Nice. It's also doubles as a fidget spinner.
Yeah. You also have a carabiner.
So I can pop it on my back. Oh, it's not. Now, when we said carabiner, I was imagining something more like exactly like the climbing, but this is actually like a fashionable carabiner. And then it looks like you could just pop it out of the pendant in a very smooth way and pop it into the carabiner.
And it's also like a fidget spinner
as well. Yes. Very cool.
Yeah. Also, it has a charging station. It's charging case. And one of my favorite details about this charging case is that it has not only magnetic connection to the Pillz, but it also connects with MagSafe with my iPhone.
Oh,
and
nice.
It charges iPhone, and also it charges the Pillz.
So it's just another cylinder. There's a cylindrical theme here, although some of them are more like hockey puck shaped cylinders. And basically it's a magnetic hockey puck shaped device where it can charge the device, it could charge your phone, and it's all part of the bigger kit. And I'm assuming is that you plug in that kind of hockey puck and charge that up, and then it can recharge. Cool.
That's how it works.
Very cool.
And then you would just connect it to your the app, right, to program it.
Yeah, you just it's very easy and it's very funny. You just upload our application. It's super safe. You log in with your MetaMask or Trust Wallet or any other wallet, Ledger. You connect your crypto wallets, and in your library, you can find your NFTs. You just choose your NFTs, and you can upload it with NFC, just touching with your iPhone, your Pillz, and it transfers to your Pillz. It has secure connections, so it's very hard to explain. Only Mike can explain for 5 minutes how it works and why it's so safe. But it's really.
So we'll pause for a minute, and Mike will explain by telepathy. So just close your eyes, everyone, and do some sort of meditation. And
we'll definitely find another time for Mike to get on and get into the technical side. But look, appreciating that this is a sponsored segment. I mean, we're always authentic with the types of folks we have on the show and choosing them. I'm impressed. I have a background in physical goods and CPG and dabbled a little in fashion. I know how hard it is to build build something like this and to make it elegant, especially, you know, in a post-COVID supply chain world. I can only imagine how difficult it is. And you guys are coming in at $199. Just personally, it feels like a very reasonable attractive price point. Kudos to you guys for working so hard on something so special. I'm really proud of you all.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really hardly connected with COVID supply chains and things in Taiwan, in China, and it's very hard to get chips and microelectronics. It's a bit hard now.
I thought you were passing it along an assembly line, just the three of you, and putting it all together. So at least you've got some cool outsourcing. So that's what I would have just assigned Josh to maybe mold the metal, and then I would like put the chip inside. So you guys are smarter than I would be. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that it's really big work of big amount of people. It's about 40 people working for 16 hours a day for the last 8 months. We really didn't stop, and now it's about 80 to 100 people working to launch. It's a really big project, the biggest project I worked for my life.
Very impressive. Maybe just quickly before we roll on here, I think for quick hitters, we'll play it really safe, and maybe we'll ask you guys to pick your couple of your favorite quick hitters and just tell us which ones your best answers are. But before we do that, what's your roadmap look like going forward? Anything we missed that we should mention for listeners that they should look forward to, or did we cover most of it?
I can tell more about roadmap. So we launch our first batch of 5,000 devices at 15th of June. This summer, we launch public sales with unlimited, with capacity drop, and limited only by time. And after that, we close sales for more than half a year before we don't stabilize our production processes. And only when we will get devices in stock, we will continue our sales. And also, a very specific thing is that you can not only buy your device like a device in a delivery type, you can buy NFT. It's claimable, burnable. You can, in half a year, you can go to our website and burn it and make your delivery, or you can sell it to anybody on the secondary market. And we think that because more than half a year we will not make sales, there will be a lot of people who will buy 10, 20, 100 devices like NFTs in a row and sell it on secondary market for next half a year.
It's going to be interesting. And, it was great to hear how many people are working on it too, because it adds more information onto like the depth of this project and how impressive it is.
May I add just a small note that actually, we're going to have open edition time limited drop after the upcoming limited one. Then we end sales, as Marat told, but also we intend to do at least few limited collaborations with NFT collections, like blue chip NFT collections and high fashion brands. And like we do a lot currently in terms of fashion aspect of our brand. So we have a concept of co-creation with artists. And we are really proud that we were already featured in Vogue Business, High Bay, and like many other media outlets. So that's something I think important, like to mention within our roadmap.
Yeah. And by the way, I think I'm receiving a message from the ether here, and it happens to be, I'm just going to channel Mike really quickly. He did have some interesting comments. So he said, besides the security aspect, it is great to mention that there's a diversity of options to authenticate in the app. They have more than 100 wallets on multiple blockchains, email OTP auth, and unique way to fuse those auth options in the Pillz ID. And ingest digital assets like ERC 721, ERC 1155, other standards. And for the record, Pillz is not a cold wallet. They do not store private keys, wallet telemetry, or NFTs themselves anywhere on their infrastructure. So you don't have to worry about that aspect of it. It's all stored solely on the blockchain. Well, that was really cool. I've never channeled before, but I think I did a pretty great job. Josh, what do you say we just have a little bit of fun and move on to quick hitters in a fun way, in a quick way with these guys? You up for it?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right, awesome. Well, we've communicated the list to you. We also know there's a little bit of a language barrier. You were like asking us to clarify some of these questions. So instead of doing the whole quick hitters and having you each answer them, each one of them, both of you, why don't you pick one or two or three from the list that you think are fun answers, and tell us your answers to the quick hitters. Anything stand out to either of you already? Victoria, did you have any ones that you picked?
Yeah, I thought one of the questions was very psychological, like if you could buy anything in the world that is currently for sale, what would it be?
Right.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
it's a great question to ask
yeah.
someone in the world of commerce and fashion. So
Yeah, and actually, like it was very difficult, but I realized first thing which came up to my mind was I would love to buy a flight to a moon or Mars, if you can buy it.
Yes.
You can, right? So that's what
Eventually.
I would buy.
You know what? They might let you go to Mars for free if you're willing to go, but
One-way.
One-way ticket.
one-way
Yeah.
ticket.
Yeah.
And what about you, Marat? You want to answer that one?
No, I found the question, what's the most recent thing you sold? I'm very unsocial person, and for weeks I don't go out from my home, and I don't buy anything, I don't sell anything. But what's the most recent thing you sold? It was in January. I sold 400K shares of Pillz Incorporated.
All right.
There you go.
Sounds like a good sale. All right. Let us know if there's any others that particularly stand out to you. Otherwise, we can move on. Anything else you're just dying to answer from that list? No on Marat. How about Victoria? No pressure. He's too shy. That's good. It's a good thing we're skipping it. All right, you ready to move on, Victoria? Or you're on another question?
Yeah, I think we can move on. Like,
Okay.
I mean, the rest answers are, I think, quite regular.
Thanks a lot for playing along. That was fun, and thanks for mixing it up with us that way. All right, well, before we wrap here, we always like to find out where listeners can go to learn more about you and the project you're working on. So why don't one of you share those details, socials, websites, stuff like that?
Yeah, sure. So we are presented within almost all social networks. So Instagram, Pillz Tech, Twitter account, Pillz Tech, TikTok, Pillz Tech, Discord, Pillz, and our website. So I think I've mentioned everything.
And as we mentioned before, Pillz. Just make sure you get the spelling right.
Yeah, thank you.
Social networks are without dot. It's just PILLZTECH.
Awesome. All right. And it turns out we have a giveaway, which is really cool with you guys. A free mint of the Pillz NFT dropping June 15th. Wow. Exciting.
Yeah.
I wish I was eligible for this, but I think we have to give it to the audience. Definitely excited to participate. Thanks for that, guys. Any other details you want to mention about that, or is it pretty much covered?
Yeah, I think it's covered.
All right. Well, look out on our socials for details. Thank you so much for joining us. We're really excited about it. All really impressed, as Josh mentioned, with what you've accomplished. We have officially reached the outer limit at the Edge of NFTs for today. Thanks for exploring with us. We've got space for more adventures on this starship. So invite your friends, recruit some cool strangers. That will make this journey also much better. Go to Spotify or iTunes right now, rate us, say something awesome. Go to edgeofnft.com to dive further down the rabbit hole. Look us up on all major social platforms by typing Edge of NFT with no spaces and start a fun conversation with us online. Lastly, be sure to tune in next time for more great Web3 content. Thanks again for sharing this time with us today.
The views and opinions expressed on the Edge of NFT podcast reflect solely those views and opinions of the show creators and its guests. We're learning as we go, just like you. Please make sure to do your own research. Our podcast is not financial advice. There are multiple strategies and not all strategies fit all people. You understand that you are using any and all information available on or through this podcast at your own risk.